While yesterday's episode was still uploading, I did come back to the model table, and I started working on our brass chain. And I took that white microfiber cloth, and I very, very gently dragged the chain first one way, then the other through the cloth. And I'm guessing probably 30, 40 times in both directions. In other words, I kept at it until I could no longer see any black coming off anywhere on the white cloth. So I think I probably got 99.9% of it. Now I guess it's pretty obvious I did get out my other microscope. And I don't know what magnification this would be at right now. I think it would depend on what you're watching it on. If you're watching it on your cell phone, well, maybe the magnification's only about 20 power. If you're watching it on a big 75-inch 4K TV, well, it's probably 150, 200 power. Everything is relative, right? It turned out pretty good. You can see those links are, I'm not seeing any brass glinting through anywhere on any of them. And dragging it through that microfiber cloth seemed to polish the black brass. It actually looks like steel, not brass. So I'm happy with the way this came out. And the powder or the residue is not coming off onto anything, so we're good to go here. Well, it is the next morning. It is this morning, if you're watching this episode soon after it posted. It is Wednesday, Remembrance Day, November the 11th. And all over Winnipeg in a very short time now, don't know if you can read that, but in a very short time, schools here will be celebrating their moment of silence, and the kids will all be trying to not make any noise. Yeah, it just seems like yesterday I was doing that. Anyway, what I did was I went online to try and find out if there was any way to disable the automatic shutoff on this thing. And about the only thing that I can think of, and I haven't tested that yet, and I'm going to do it right now, just for the fun of it, is you can shut the light off after you power up. Okay, so a person powers up, and then you can turn the little light off, like there. Okay, now the idea is, see if I can get it so the reflection isn't on the screen. Now the idea is that I'm thinking that maybe with the light off, it will go longer without powering down. So I'm just going to use time-lapse here just to find out what happened. Okay, it went off. We'll check with the computer later and see what happened. Now, the way I think this thing should work is, you power it up, and then it zeros, and then you start using it. And the way I think it should work is, as long as you're weighing something and the computer notices that there's changes being made, that the auto shut-off time should start from the last time anything happened. That's the way I think it should work. But, of course, it doesn't. If you remember when we were measuring the stuff yesterday, or was it yesterday? Anyway, yeah. And I was actually working at it. I was dropping liquid in and taking liquid out, and the reading was constantly changing, but still it shut itself off. So I'm going to just see now. I'm just going to keep doing that. Well, it seems to me that it has gone a lot longer than it did the last time or before. It could be that if the change is significant, it will keep going. In other words, we're dropping all the way back down to zero, and then we just keep running back up to about 40, 48 grams. Yeah, the auto shutoff has not kicked in, and there's been a fair amount of time passed here. So obviously it does work the way I think it should. It's just that, as I say, the change has to be apparently significant. But when I'm just, changing it by a gram or two, like we were yesterday, well, then it, yeah. Okay, enough about this scale. In other words, bottom line is there is no way that I can manually shut the auto shutoff off or disable it. Yeah. There's got to be a way I can get around this next time I want to weigh just a tiny little bit. Either that or I just got to be faster, that's all. It's amazing how much dust you can collect on the deck of this thing, and just how long have we been working on it now? Only 2 months? And I was going to go around with a touch-up brush and, touch up places that needed touching up, and to my surprise I found that there's places I haven't even painted yet, like these little, some kind of a hook on the deck. There's I'm looking at probably about 6 or 8 of them. And then there's what I thought was the hawse pipe on the stern. Then when looking closely, well, I'll move the camera so you can see. Now, when I had masked off the hull from the deck, and when I sprayed, I guess the masking tape must have been too far over onto the deck. And, well, you're looking at bare plastic right there. So, yeah, got to touch that up. All stuff that I'd never noticed, and it's easier to do it now than after the railing is on here. Now, I think when we do the Rodney, I am not going to glue the deck into the hull. I'm going to paint the deck separately, unless we get the wooden decking for the Rodney. The only way I would be interested in wooden decking is if I can just buy it without all the extra photo etch stuff that comes in these kits. I just want strictly the wooden decking. I might be interested. We'll see. That's not going to be for a long time. In the meantime, let's paint our little hose pipe here, or whatever that is, and these things here. And I've got these as well. It never ends. Well, I guess that's part of the fun, right? Okay, now, once again, as I've said so many times before, I want to watch that I don't get myself so involved with playing with cameras, which I really enjoy doing, that I'm going to not get any work done here. I think I'm probably going to have to give this thing 2 coats. I'm using the thinned, 1/3 thinned. I'm trying not to get it onto the deck, although I will be going around later anyway. I feel like I'm shooting a sniper rifle. I'm holding my breath and painting in between heartbeats. Okay, now. Okay, and I'll use the other brush. I'll put this down somewhere. Use the other brush to sort of fill in here. Yeah, I'm going to have to give it 2 coats here. That's okay. I will let this dry. Well, maybe not. Oh, it's flooding. Okay, well that will dry. It's very, very thin. That will dry and shrink like heat shrinking tape. Okay. Too much here. Wonder, can I use this brush to do these? No, I didn't realize that I had moved almost completely out of the frame there. However, if you use your imagination just a little bit, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now there's another one down there. I'll get that later. Well, I definitely can't use this brush to do those little things, so I'm just going to have to go at it here and get it done. Yeah. And it will need 2 coats, I think. Now there's something I bought when I went to the grocery store the other day, and I just kind of want to show it to you. I was going to clean out my brushes just right now, and usually I'll use Windex. It works, well, not usually, but often I will use Windex, because even if, like on this little brush here, a few minutes has passed, it could well be that, it's the acrylic paint is hardened. But when I was in the grocery store, I bought, if I can pick it up, I bought a large one, and it's the it says it's the original, so I'm imagining it's got the ammonia in it, the same as that one. And because this stuff is so cheap and works so well, I've got a lifetime supply here. Must start drinking it. Yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Okay, now I'll clean up my brushes. I have gone around now with my little paintbrush, and all the pieces from steps 27 and 28 that we glued down, they're all touched up. Anywhere like at the base of the ladders where the CA glue was sort of showing up there on the deck tan, well, I've sort of patched that up. The deck tan paint is not quite dry, so you might see it glinting through a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, I just took my little point and shoot here, and I went all around the deck and snapped a few shots. Don't know what else to say. That's about it for today. I don't know about, what's going to happen tomorrow. Just a few minutes ago, I did get a phone call, and that tells me, and they told me that a delivery that I'm expecting is supposed to come sometime between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Well, that's right about the time I'm trying to get my video done and upload it to YouTube, so it might be a bit of a disjointed or very short video tomorrow. I don't know. Anyway, enough rambling here. Don't know what else I can tell you. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we will see you tomorrow.